Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be showing how to install the V2 paddle shifters. First things first, in the box you'll get a lead, one red lead with a terminated end on it, 2 paddles with the extra button, 2 of these crimp connects, and then this custom harness. First things first, what you're going to have to do is disconnect the battery, unplug this connector back here, remove the airbag. That can be done with just some simple picks and a flat blade and a Phillips head. What you have to do is you have to first remove the cover back here, and then once you do that, you can stick your pick through the backside like so and release the bottom clip like this, and that will release the bottom clip. And then with the top here, what you want to do is you want to fish in a pick or something. You basically want to get these pulled out. I forgot how I did it. I did it basically with feel. You won't be able to see them because the airbag is going to be right here. There is no better way to explain this, but other than just stick some things in, slide that out, and that will release the airbag. And then once you get all 3 of those out, you can disconnect the horn connector and then the airbag connector, which this just pops out. You just take a flat blade, pop this tab out, and it unclips it. This back here, same deal. There's a clip, unclip it out, push it in like this, and it unplugs. I'll show you on this connector down here. So pop that out like so, push the tab in, and it unplugs. So next, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be installing this harness. First, we're going to need to remove this trim piece here. This just slides out, so I'll do that real quick. Basically, you just like so. Disconnected. So we're just going to have that dangle for a little bit. Next, we're going to need to go get a Torx and undo the rear buttons. So let me go grab that. So I grabbed my Torx tool. We're going to be using a, what size is this? Should say T20. And then basically we're going to unscrew this. It's pretty difficult to do this by one hand. Let me unscrew those first, and then I will continue. So once you unscrew them, this gets loosed. So what we're going to do is we're going to unclip this, and we're also going to unclip this side, but we want to do one at a time. So I don't think I'll be able to unclip this by hand. So I just used a pick and was able to unclip this. So next we're going to take the harness here, we're going to set it inside, and we're going to run this connector through this hole. We're going to pull this one out, or mostly out, and then we're going to slide this one through. We're going to plug in this. We're going to repeat that on both sides. So let me do that. I've got this side connected. It just plugs in, just like how this connector is. So I pulled this one out, plugged it in, and screwed it in. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pin, and I'm going to run it into this connector. We're going to do the pin closest to the connector on the left 4 here, on the bottom. On the left 4, the most right pin, the one that's empty. So we're going to be the one right here, this pin right here. So I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this pick and pull this tab up a little bit, and that will unlock the pins, and then I can slide in this pin and terminate this. Once I do that, I can plug that in, and then I'm going to do the other side. That way this doesn't just fall out. And then I will be crimping down this. So I got this side connected. What I did is I connected it, and then the extra harness I kind of just tucked away back here, out of the way. Ran the wires up this way. Then I took that crimp, one of the 2 crimps that I include, and crimped the connectors. So it takes a lot of trial and error, but you basically want to get that connector to sit down in that little pocket there. And then this connector, you tuck away in there too. Then you run the wires, pin that connection, and then that's basically everything wired up in the steering wheel. Next, we'll run the wire from the shifter to this connector. Let me pop this in so you can see how it'll look like once you've wired it and hooked it all up. So I've tidied up the wires, got everything nice and tucked away. I ran this all behind it. I just disconnected this, flipped it, and got these out in front. Tucked them very nicely, very out of the way. That way it won't interfere with your horn. So next we're going to do this shifter. So all you do is you just go around this with a pry bar and you pop it up. It's kind of a two-handed job, but let me get this done and show you how to connect it. The crimp connects. You literally just take a pair of pliers and you just crimp them down. That's it. They're pretty standard. So let me get to the shifter. So I've gotten to the shifter and I crimped that because there's no way I was going to be able to record that. But basically there's a wire that runs along this shifter. See this connector here? Well, on that connector there's a black and then a red wire. You're going to take this red wire, you're going to connect it in line to that red wire. Next, we're going to take this wire and run it through the dash up to this connector. So I ran it through the trim there, all the way up to the steering wheel, plugged it into that connection right here. Basically, we're mirroring that, so because the clock spring mirrors itself. So next, we're going to plug this in. And get that plugged in, and we're going to test it next. Alright, so ignore the airbag light. That's because I have everything disconnected. So once everything's wired up, we're going to turn on the car, put it in L1. We're going to put it all the way down here. So our right should be an upshift. And so you guys can see that I'm not lying. It just changed to a 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now that we know it works, I'm going to put this back together and then I will show you how to attach these paddles. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a paper towel and some 90% isopropyl alcohol. We're going to go to our buttons here and we're going to really clean them. I mean, you're going to want to get every bit of grime off of them. You can see a little bit of grime's coming off. And you just want to do that on both sides. You want them really clean. It's important for 3M for it to actually adhere well. And then we're going to dry it. Let that sit for a couple minutes. Do the other side. Really clean it. Dry it. Wait a couple minutes. So then, once the buttons have dried, you're going to peel this adhesive and you're going to set it on just like so. And then you're going to have the buttons, the other button saying that fills in that cavity, and that will go in between, and that will basically make it so it's not one piece, but so there's no empty void. So I've got the car back in L1. I've got everything buttoned up. You can see 6. Let's do that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see. Paddle shifters. This is the V2 paddle shifter kit.